Let's go over how you have a bloodless coup in the Soviet Union. So if you look at the national focus tree under the path of Marxist-Leninism, you have the center, that's Stalin, that's the traditional route. You have the left opposition, that's Trotsky. And then over here, you have the right opposition. And if you go down past coup d'etat, you can see back to the NEP, new economic policy, and that reduces the number of factories on consumer goods. And then a sustainable economy further reduces it. And then you have these other bonuses affecting production and efficiency. Once you get your economy set up, you can go down to enemies of the people and get all your war goals against Finland, Estonia, Latvia, etc. So, this path is really powerful if you don't have to go through the Civil War. If you go through the Civil War, the time and resources that takes kind of negates the effectiveness of those bonuses. So, I'm going to get started, and I'll just fast forward to the next important event. The first focus is complete. Now we can go ahead and select the right opposition and get started on that. So while you are going through the process of removing Stalin, once you get the political power, you can go ahead and do a justification on Turkey and take over Turkey and Romania to get that nice solid start you want as a Soviet Union. You can also participate in the Spanish War if you want. Little things to do while waiting to get through this process. So about the time you get through the second focus, you're going to get the political paranoia system triggered. This alert right here is what tells you the political paranoia is starting. So, looking at events and decisions. Since we're headed down the path of a civil war, you can set up a secret headquarters wherever. If I was actually doing the civil war, I'd choose UFA. But it doesn't really matter for this. At this point, so we need to get this one, infiltrate the NKVD, in addition to these two and this diamond here. This one decreases, infiltrate the NKVD, decreases political paranoia a little bit, so we won't take that yet. We'll go for the need of policy changes. The reason you want to infiltrate the NKVD as well is because it boosts the chances of the assassination attempt working by 30%. If you don't go that route, it's a 50-50 chance. If you throw that one in, it's 80-20. It costs 70 days of time. It's up to you whether or not you want to grab it, but I recommend it. It seems to help quite a bit in the dozen times I've gone through this. Another national focus down. You can see political paranoia is at 20%. That means I'm probably just going to go ahead and go for this one, dissent in the party, just because I want to spike up the political paranoia, and then I can take decisions that lower it. The Moscow trials, each time you hit one of those, it's going to decrease political paranoia by 20%, and we'll probably hit two of those before the assassination attempt. Here is the first random political paranoia event. Easy one, we're taking political paranoia decreases by 20%. With these random events, if you're not in Iron Man mode and you're saving a lot, you can just load an earlier save and play through again, and you'll get different events, or maybe no events. It's random. The trials are the ones that are scripted and have scripted advisors that are removed. Another national focus down. Political paranoia is still only at 40%, so I'm going to go for organized uprisings in the country, just because I'll take those political paranoia hits while it's so low. This one's another easy one. We're just going to launch the investigation and get rid of the political paranoia. Here we have an event that's more interesting. When an advisor is accused of treason, you're going to want to check. So here we have Ivan. The ones to look out for, this guy. Ooh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Yagoda. He's the current head of the NKVD, and we'll talk about him more later. But when we go through the national focus tree, if you look at that event to plan for the coup, you're going to see in the tooltip that there's a political advisor that you definitely don't want to be in power of the NKVD. But back to this current advisor, Ivan. I don't really care about him. The three that I want are these three here: Buharin, Tomsky, and Ryakov. Ryakov's going to become their leader. Tomsky has all these nice production bonuses, and Buharin has this research speed and political power gain. So, since those three are safe here, we're going to get rid of Ivan. One more focus completed. At this point, we have infiltrate the NKVD, undermine Stalin's authority, and clandestine cells that all need done. Let's go look at the political paranoia. It's only at 20%, so we'll save infiltrate the NKVD. We don't want this one yet, undermine Stalin's authority, because it increases the weekly paranoia. So that leaves clandestine cells, and go ahead and let that run through. Okay, these mass protest events are more difficult because the top option, the amount of political paranoia increase, is random. And the bottom one decreases political paranoia by 10, but you take that big political power hit. Right now, since our paranoia is only at 20%, and we got to be getting close to a Great Purge or Moscow trial, I'm going to let them protest. And turns out I got lucky and it was one of the low ones. Ooh, a general. So, when a general gets accused, if you save him, you lose 60 political power, and political paranoia increases. If you like him, save him. If it was Zhukov, I might, but this guy, sorry. Here we go with the first Great Purge, Moscow trial. These political advisors, they are predetermined, they're scripted. There is a chance that one of them could be removed through a random event you get hit with, but otherwise, these are always the same. If one of those people were removed by a random event, then it'd be filled in by a random advisor. So, click this, decreases political paranoia 50%, and we're back down to 0, looking really great. Another one of these mass protests. Because political paranoia is so low, I'm going to let them protest. Another national focus down. So at this point, we have 2 left. Undermine Stalin's authority and infiltrate the NKVD. I guess we'll go with the latter. It's like the political paranoia is doing so well this playthrough that I haven't had a great opportunity to go through that one. here we have another protest event. Since we're under 50% political paranoia, I'm going to let him protest. And it was only a 5% hit. Got lucky. Here's another random event, and this one's easy. We're just going to decrease the political paranoia. More protests. I'm going to let him protest because my political paranoia is still low, and once again got lucky. 5%. Oh. National focus is completed. That leaves me with undermining Stalin's authority. I've been saving this one because it increases the weekly paranoia increase by 1%. But we are getting close to the assassination attempt. More protests. Still under 50% paranoia, so let them protest. Ooh, I took the big hit at 20% that time. Now, if I get one of those protest prompts again, I'm going to go with the bottom option to decrease the paranoia and take the political power hit. I've been banking up my political power just in case. This event is one where you need to be careful. So, let's look at the tooltip. Okay, so Yagoda is the current advisor, and he's going to be replaced with Nikolai Yetsov. Let's look at plan for the coup. So, when it says does not have political advisor Laventry Bria, that would be the leader of the NKVD. Okay, so we're good. This won't violate that. So we'll go ahead and purge Yagoda. And there you can see he is the new advisor there. Alright. Now we're at the point where we need to plan for the coup. Right there, get that going. Here we have another mass protest. Since I'm above 50%, I'm going to start spending some of my banked political power. Second Moscow trial. This is perfect and well needed because it will decrease the political paranoia by 50%, and the political advisors are all scripted. So this is one of those things you can't change by going back in time and running through again. Okay, down to 22% political paranoia, looking good. Okay, threw me another easy choice. We're just gonna go with the top option. Another easy option right here. And plan for the coup is about to pop. Once that pops, our events and decisions will change. Okay, so you saw, if you're watching carefully, when that popped, we have this option for the head of the NKVD, Yetsov. This is the reason why when you plan for the coup, you got to make sure Nikolai is not already, well, now you can't see it in the tooltip anymore, but when you click plan for the coup, he can't already be in power because you need to put him in power. So, at this point, we're going to click this, and it's going to be active for 90 days. And we have coup d'etat that takes 70 days. So what's going to happen is we need to switch out the leader of the NKVD, or not switch him out, but make him loyal to us. So you click on this option to make sure that he becomes loyal to, well, this option. He becomes loyal to the right. And then once it is complete, there'll be an option listed here to attempt to assassinate Stalin that's active for 14 days. So once Stalin is assassinated, Yeltsin will become the leader of the Soviet Union. However, the political paranoia system will still be in place, and you need to go through coup d'etat to put Ryakov in power and remove the political paranoia system. So, with that in mind, I need to burn down this, the head of the NKVD, to be 40 days, and then I will select the next national focus. And I want to do it that way because the national focus will bank 10 days, and once I select that, that'll give me a 20-day window to do the attempt on Stalin. So I'm going to go ahead and run this down. So here's another easy choice, and we are almost to 40 days. Okay, so now that we're at 40 days, we'll go through the next steps. And I just want to note that the duration of this event does vary. So 90 days is on the long side. Sometimes it's 50 days. However, regardless of how long it is, you want to run it down so that there's 40 days left. And at that point, we're going to choose our national focus, coup d'etat. Then I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to keep watching that like a hawk, because as soon as it hits 0, I need to choose the next event. You also want to watch the political paranoia. You got to keep that below 90%. If it goes above 90%, highly likely that the Civil War is going to start, and we don't want the Civil War to start. Here's another easy choice, and you can see we're down to 7, 6, 5, 4 days left. So, and once it hits 0, pause. You can see now we have the option to eliminate Stalin. It's active for 14 days. In this tooltip, you can see the chance to succeed is 80%, has a base rate of 50%, and then an additional 30% from when we infiltrated the NKVD, that national focus. So click that. Go over here and check coup d'etat, 50 of 70 days. So hopefully the assassination attempt succeeds. If it does, the head of the NKVD will be in power for 6 days. So let's see which event we get. If Stalin lives, we wasted a bunch of time. Oh, thank God. This is what we wanted. And you can see that Laventry Bria's now in charge. So that's why we had to make sure that he wasn't in charge of the NKVD at any point. But I just want to point out the political paranoia system is still active, and we need to complete coup d'etat to get rid of that. At this point, how unfortunate. So now, okay, you can choose who you want to be the new leader. And this one, you're looking at Ryakov just because of that consumer goods factory factor. That is such a powerful bonus. So, click on Ryakov. Now Ryakov's ahead. Coup d'etat is completed. Political paranoia system is gone, and you are free to go through your national focuses and set up your economic policy, to go down here and get enemies of the people and take over all your neighbors. So, I hope you found this helpful.